What's up, guys? Hey, I'm Dustin Ibarra.
And I'm Greg Baldwin.
And we're podcasting.
Yeah!
Yeah, man. Welcome to Good Things Are Happening.
Man, it's good to be here.
Good things are happening, dude.
It's awesome, dude.
It's
awesome,
exciting.
Man.
This is awesome because, like, we're doing this podcast and, like, good things are happening. And then it's like, I feel like we manifested this kind of. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Good Things Are Happening.
Hello.
What's up, Greg? How you doing,
I'm doing
buddy?
good, man. I'm doing good. A little tired, but I'm good.
A little tired. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you guys for joining us today. Yes, we've got a very exciting guest. It's a very exciting day here. I wanted to say that if you guys have any good stories that you want to tell us in your life, any good things that are happening, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on the YouTube, wherever you can reach us.
Yeah.
Homing pigeon. Yeah, Morse code, anything, you know. We just want to hear what's going on in your life because we're always here talking about like, this is what's going on here. We want to hear from you guys.
Yeah. So if you send us some stories, we'll read them and talk about them on the air and mention you on the podcast. So
Yeah. Okay, now that's out of the way.
yeah. Thank God.
Yes, I'm doing pretty good, buddy.
Yeah. What's going on? What's your latest?
Well, I got back from Montreal.
Oh,
Montreal.
Nice.
I was filming something up there with our buddy.
Did you
What?
see when you were in Montreal? Apparently,
What?
they have a lot of ghosts up there. Did you see any ghosts?
I didn't see any ghosts.
No?
Man. I saw a few ghosts, but that's kind of giving away the thing. But no, but I was staying right next to this cathedral that was supposedly one of the most haunted places in North America.
Really?
Yeah, the Saint Ballas Cathedral of Notre Dame or something like that. You know, I don't know. I didn't take the tour or anything, but it was right there. So I was hoping to see a ghost, but I did not. And it was weird because I got there and if you don't know this about Montreal, everyone speaks French, dude. It's like they call it miniature France. It's like miniature France, you know? So I brought Christy there because she's always wanted to go to France. So I'm like, this
Nice.
counts. Yeah. Next year she wants a summer in Florida. So I'm going to take her to Walmart because that's kind of like miniature Florida, you know, we'll set up in the sporting goods section with some beach chairs.
Yeah, bring like all your beach towels and stuff
Yeah,
and sunglasses
totally. Yes.
and then go to the like lounge chairs and
Yeah.
like put your towels out and eat food.
Yeah, but it was a trip, dude, because I was there and it was you see a lot of things and you're like, whoa, you feel like you're in a different country, and you are, you know, in Canada, but you feel like you're in a European country, you know. And I was like, man, I miss home. But then I saw they also have homeless people, so I was like, okay, I kind of feel like LA.
You felt good.
Yeah, I
at
felt
home?
good. Yeah.
You're like, okay, I feel a little better, dude.
The policemen, I saw a police station. They don't have guns either or nightclubs.
Really?
No, they just have those big long pieces of bread,
Wow.
baguettes. Yeah, and they
just-
bop you with them. Yeah. It was a cool time though, man.
Nice.
I felt what was that word? Very cultured, you know,
Nice.
while I was there.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, I did it. Did the shooting of the show, and
What was the show?
well, it was a CBS show. It went great, and who knows? Maybe they'll have me back. I
Nice.
hope. Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens there.
You're not allowed to talk about what show it is, or not?
I don't think so. No, I'm not
Not
allowed
yet.
to talk
Okay,
about
not
it.
yet.
But it's a pretty big show.
Stay
so
tuned for the details of when you're going to see Dustin on a CBS hit sitcom.
Yeah.
Hit sitcom with one of my good friends is the lead in it, co-lead in it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Our buddy was
Our
up
buddy,
there.
our good
I went to a
friend.
hockey game with him too.
Yeah.
The Canadians. It
Yeah,
was pretty
and
cool.
a future guest on this podcast. So.
Yes. Yeah. So things are rocking and rolling, bro. I got nothing to complain about.
That's so good.
I
man.
know we're always here saying good things are happening but inside of us we're like, life sucks. But things are actually pretty good right now.
You know,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny because I can have like other people's perception of the way my life is going.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, Greg's killing it. He's doing all this stuff. But like inside, I feel like I'm failing.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I'm a total failure.
I think everyone has a little bit of that, right?
I think so.
You know, where it's like the inside doesn't match the outside type
Yeah.
of thing.
That's why it comes down to, they always say, happiness is an inside job. It's because you got to do the things in order to maintain happiness, service and the things we all talk about. We always talk about meditation, service work, recovery, all that stuff. And when I do all those things, I feel good. But it's I went through a little tough spell the past few days. I'm coming out of it now.
Oh, tell me about it, Greg. What's going on in little Greggy's life?
So what happened was I had this great job,
Yeah.
and then it's a side job in addition to comedy, because comedy's it's hard to cover your bills and be comfortable just doing comedy. And I was for a while, but I picked up a side gig, and then it was great money, and so I signed a new lease.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, it's Panda Express, by the way. I just wanted to clear that up. This man can work a walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but anyway, my lease was outside to sign a new lease, or they're going to increase my rent a couple $100 a month. And then my car broke down.
Oh man!
And so broke down. It was going to cost $10,000 to fix. Which
we talked about that. It was bad news.
Yeah. So I bought a new car, which I love. It's a 2021 Toyota Camry, but it looks like a little sports car.
It is great. And I saw it the other day at the Laugh Factory. I got to ride in it. Front seat. Pretty cool. We're three
leather
people,
bucket seats.
Leather bucket seats, which I kind of like those seats where I can just slide on next to you, just be right there. You can just put your arm around me and
put your hand on my leg.
Yeah, but the bucket seats are nice, man.
Yeah.
It was a cool car, and I'm glad that you got it.
Yeah.
And I think something's gonna happen, dude. I've known you long enough where you go through this, you'll be like, my life is falling apart. How am I gonna afford this? And then it's like, oh yeah, I made $2,000 today. What, doing nothing. Like, oh, good.
So what happened is I bought a new car, I signed a lease, and then within 2 weeks, I lost my job. And because it was a mental health companion job for somebody that has pretty good mental health problems. So it wasn't me losing it was the circumstances. So I don't know how the job may come back. But what happened is I woke up after that happened. I woke up every hour in the middle of the night in a total panic that how am I going to cover all my bills? Because now I have a really high overhead. And then, it was a while back. All I was doing was comedy, and I was touring with Daryl Hammond.
Yeah.
And I was covering my bills, and, but I was putting money on my credit card. So I built up this $8,000 credit card bill. And I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to survive. I can't keep doing this. So I came to a point and I made a decision, and the decision was I'm going to surrender this over to God or higher power, the universe, or whatever you believe in. And I'm just going to let it go and surrender. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be excited to see how it works out, because life always works out for me. It always does. And always, and then all of a sudden, boom, I got this job.
Boom.
And then all of a sudden I paid off the $8,000 credit card bill. I got, now I got like 3 months of, and I was telling, and it's funny because, people on the outside see, oh, Greg's doing all these shows. Last night I did a show with Jay Leno, and there's like, oh, Greg's killing it. He's doing great. He's killing it. And then for some reason on the inside, I feel like I'm failing, because I see all my friends had families and have kids and have houses and cars and, and all that stuff. And it's like, am I ever going to get to that point, like at the end of my life? Because it's such a hard career path to where I'm like at the end going, you know what? I sacrificed all that stuff to end up broke at the end of my life. That's what my negative thinking is telling me. You know?
I mean, that wouldn't be so bad to end up broke at the end of your life.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen to all the greats, right? Like, they like Tesla, Nikola Tesla, the great inventor.
Yeah.
And the genius.
Yeah.
He was penniless when he died.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe you're Tesla, dude.
Yeah. So what's the solution? I feel great today. I had a major show last night. I feel great today.
Yeah.
So that's what this podcast is about, and that's why we have an amazing guest, because she is phenomenal about these topics, in which we'll get into in a second. But
very excited about this.
I feel good today, and I have a good outlook. I'm surrendering it over, and I feel good, and things are going to work out, and life is amazing.
Yeah, wave that white flag, buddy.
So let's bring in our guest, because she has a lot to add to this. So today's guest, she's an actress, stand-up comedian, and that's what it says on her Wikipedia. But she's also an author. She's a podcast host. She's a writer, blogger. She's an activist. She's just all these things. She's amazing. Now, so she was like a pinup girl. You remember, like,
ooh,
like Heather Thomas, and she was one of the girls.
Okay.
She was on a hit ABC. Was it? I think it was ABC.
Yeah,
it was ABC sitcom. You remember Ted Knight?
Ted Knight.
The guy in Caddyshack?
Yes.
Right? Ted Knight with the white hair?
Of course.
She was. She played his daughter.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's amazing. Now, hold on. Before we bring her, she has a podcast. It's called GodShots, the Stories of Synchronicity, which we're going to talk about. And she was just in Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then the last thing I want to say, she was in all my favorite shows in the 80s that I was growing up. Love Boat, A-Team, Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island. Ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful, amazing guest, Lydia Cornell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a sweet introduction. I love you guys.
It's all true. You had me at Wikipedia. I was like, wow. You got someone on Wikipedia, dude? This is crazy.
Oh, you are. Oh, my God.
Move over Joe Rogan. We're going to be the #1 podcast.
I wanted to chime in because I was like, oh, my God, everything you're saying is what I've been going through and what we all go through. But I found these amazing solutions. So the podcast is about true stories of synchronicity and uncanny coincidence, which are
I love those.
From Surrender. But before that, Ted Knight was the funniest guy to work for in the world. In my first audition, I should actually tell you that. That's the first big coincidence.
Too Close for Comfort was the show. Yes, I didn't say that.
We were on the hottest night of ABC TV on Tuesdays. Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company,
Whoa!
Too Close for Comfort, and Heart to Heart.
Whoa, those are
that is
like
amazing.
You guys are too young to even
No,
know.
I'm not.
Greg's
come
not.
on.
Greg's.
80s.
Yeah.
I got the 80s hair.
I had 3 kids by that time.
You could land a plane on my head. It's like an aircraft carrier. Remember
Yeah.
the 80s hair alert?
Yeah.
I just posted those old pictures on Instagram.
I love that. I love those hairstyles.
I sent you one of the pictures.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Christy's like, who's that? I'm like, don't look,
I watched this little YouTube story about your relationship with Ted Knight, and it was supposedly, I don't know if it was, it was you were like the star. You became the star of Too Close for Comfort. Mm-hmm. And there might have been some competitiveness with him or some ego.
He was the star. He owned the show. It's like, but he didn't want. I hate to say this because I love Ted. We had a love-hate relationship, and he was an iconic Emmy Award-winning actor from Mary Tyler Moore, and I was in love with him. And my first audition, I get to meet him, and I get this part, and it was an amazing audition. But he got actors get insecure. About their limelight being stolen. And Deborah and I had our own thing going. ABC wanted to spin us off, and he got upset.
Yeah. Dustin keeps, when he starts cutting me off and putting me down and making me belittle because.
Yeah, I do that to him all the time. I'm always like, I should just it should be good things are happening for Dustin, It should be a solo show, no guests, just me, camera. Hey, it could work.
Yeah, it cuts to me. All of a sudden, you jump in front of the picture. Hey,
yeah, I'm driving your car.
2020 Toyota Camry.
You're both stars. You're both the star. You really are. But
I know what you're saying because actors are insecure. I'm an actor. I'm insecure. Comics are insecure. There's a lot of insecure people.
We wouldn't be in this industry if we were sane and whole.
No, I think you're right about that.
We have to overcome our egos, and egos edging good out or edging.
That's very true. But I think it's like it goes across the board. Just people are insecure.
People and we're an approval seeking. I guess as a baby, you come into the world needing attention. You need to be fed and loved. And oh my God, I'm in love with. I tried to make 5 babies smile in Trader Joe's the other day, and their parents all called security. So I'm obsessed with. Yeah, when you get to a certain age,
people
all of a sudden she has like 5 little babies in her shopping cart.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, where's my kid, man?
This is kind of on topic for me. Speaking of, I wasn't going to talk about this, but we're on the baby subject. Okay. The night before the election, I get this email or this Instagram message. It's like, will you vote? And I saw vote and I'm like, I don't want to look at this. This is spam. Then I get another message. It's like, this is not spam. Will you vote for my baby in baby of the year?
Oh my God.
And she sent me a picture of the baby. I didn't reply. Then she sends another one. She's like, I know you. I met you at a show. This is the baby. Can you vote for it? And I looked at it and I'm like, there's a picture with us. And I'm like, is this my baby? And then she kept on hassling me, and I'm like, okay, I felt weird because I didn't look at the other babies,
Oh my God.
I just randomly voted for some baby that I don't even know.
It's good that you voted.
I guess so, but it costs $25.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
There's some scam going on with the baby voting.
There's something going on there. Yeah.
There's a lot of Instagram babies.
Oh,
I fall
yes.
for it. I go, oh.
I did research into this baby of the year thing. Apparently, it's this big. She said her baby's in 4th place. It's because they break down the babies in different regions. So her baby's the baby of the year, 4th place with only these certain other babies. But there's a ton of 4th place babies.
God, weird.
It was a cute baby.
Did you vote?
For baby of the year.
Yeah. Did you put your money there?
I put $25. Yeah,
nice,
I voted
dude.
for this
Okay.
baby. I know. I didn't.
Yeah.
Hey, she says it'll help us out so much, my child. And I'm like, I don't know. You think the kid's gonna go on an interview one day and be like, "Oh, we can't hire you. You got a great. Oh, what is baby of the year?"
Listen,
Ooh.
I have a 30-year-old son. I'll tell you more about that later because there's a whole story behind that. But regarding this voting thing that happened, this big event that happened on Tuesday, I think we should all do primal scream therapy. Have you ever tried it?
Mm-hmm.
You go out to the Hollywood sign and you just scream as loud as you can into the canyon.
Yeah.
And it feels really good.
Some people are going to be
And
screaming,
cry.
yeah!
Or,
Yeah, there'll be 2 different screams.
yeah, right. It's like, we have to lift each other up, though.
Yeah. So I went off topic with the baby of the year
I love
thing,
that
but it was
story.
so...
That's
it was,
good.
But I have
Yeah.
a funny auditioning story. I just remembered because it started the whole synchronicity thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was in town for 3 weeks, and I got this call to go on my 3rd audition, and I took a bus to get there, and I was like, I wore a cheerleader sweater, and it was for this part in Too Close for Comfort.
Okay, this is your first. This is the big
I'd
one.
met these managers at some party, and Joyce Selznick, the head of ABC casting, later claimed, I got her in. But they sent me on 3 auditions. The first 2 I didn't get.
Wow.
CBS Ladies Man and one called, it was a rock star pilot for ABC with Leonard Goldberg. And I auditioned my heart out and I didn't get it.
Wow.
I was crying. And then I get this call. You got to go to KTLA Metro Media Studios.
Wow. In Hollywood.
Take a bus
right?
because I don't have a car. And I was just graduated college in Boulder, Colorado. And so I get there and I come in late and they said, "You're 30 minutes late." The secretary said, "Sorry, they've already seen 400 girls."
No.
It's too late. And I start to literally cry. And Arnie Sultan comes out of the office with Marcy Carsey and Tom Werner.
That's what Marcy Carsey.
Marcy Carsey and Tom Werner. And he goes, "Oh, let her read. She looks the part. She came all this way."
Yeah.
Arnie Sultan created Get Smart with Mel Brooks.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I go in and I'm reading the script with the casting director and I'm looking at Arnie and there's a line that says, "Sarah gives Dad a raspberry." So I do the line, which is, "In case you haven't noticed, we're 2 very sophisticated young women." So there. And I thrust an invisible raspberry at him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "What the hell are you handing me?" And I go, "I'm giving you a raspberry." And he goes, "What planet are you from?" And I think I said, Texas.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, "You don't know what a raspberry is?" And they all burst into laughter. The whole room exploded. I turned beet red. I was sweating. I was like, oh, auditioning's hard enough, right?
Yeah.
And they're laughing so hard. They go, "It's a Bronx cheer." And they all proceeded to do one. You guys do it. Come on. That's a Brooklyn raspberry.
It's a raspberry.
Okay.
Yeah, these are Brooklyn comedy writers. So and they go, "What time can you be at the network tomorrow morning?" And there were only 5 of us were called back out of 400 or 600.
Oh my God.
And I go in wearing a virginal white flowered dress.
Uh-huh.
And all the other girls are in hooker outfits because it's supposed to be a sex symbol, right?
Yeah.
A virginal sex symbol. And
Okay.
so I have no fear at this point in life, right? And I just go where I'm told to go. And I go into the ABC Schubert Theater I meet the president of ABC.
Wow.
Ted Knight is there.
Wow.
Marcy Carsey, Tom Werner, the whole network brass.
Yeah.
On couches. And they called me in and I just read with Ted and they're howling with laughter. They're like, and then they said, "We're going to tell you this right now. We never tell anyone this. You have the part."
Yes.
Oh.
Isn't that
Oh
weird?
my God.
Right then and there.
That is great.
And Deborah Von Valkenburg, who plays my sister Jackie.
Yeah. I remember her.
Oh, she's one of my best
She's beautiful too.
She, thank you. She is, I'm going to tell you said that. She says to me, "What's your name again?" "Lydia, did you say Korniloff?" I go, "Yeah, it's Kornilov. It's this weird Russian name. I have to find a shorter name." She goes, "I worked for a Gregory Korniloff in New York City in the shipping industry for Interpol shipping." And then he was transferred to Holland. And I went, that's my father.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
That's pretty
Deborah, out
wild.
of 10 million people in New York City, she worked for my dad.
Yeah.
And she did the Broadway musical Hair, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we became best friends and sisters. I just directed a movie she was in that I
That's
wrote.
amazing.
That's
and we're
very
still,
cool.
So that synchronicity was like breadcrumbs on the path.
Wow.
Where you feel like you're in the right place.
Oh, that's like
You know what I mean?
amazing. I love those stories.
Isn't that
I
amazing?
love the making it stories, the going in and just nailing an audition type thing.
Oh yeah.
That's just so cool. It could I've had a few experiences where I go in, I've made it. I've never been on like a hit show or anything. I've been on a couple of good things, but like
You've been on some good
that
shows.
feeling wherever you go in and you know that you just killed the audition and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
And you're already thinking like, oh, I'm gonna pay this bill, you know, I'm gonna do this. It's a great feeling, and especially like because I'm from Texas too, actually.
Where?
Dallas.
Oh, I'm from El Paso.
Oh, really? My best
That's why
friend
I
lives in
speak
El
Spanish.
Paso. I go to El Paso all the time. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah. Bart Reed's comic strip.
Oh
I go
my
there.
God.
Yeah. No, but it's weird whenever you go to LA and it's just like, this is showbiz. And mine was at ABC too. And you go up. Yeah. I remember mine was like each level was like higher. Like it was physically higher. Like you'd be on floor 11 and then you pass that and go to floor 12 and meet this. Then floor 13 is like Mickey Mouse. And like you just keep going and going. And you're just like, it's a wild.
You're talking about Disney ABC.
Yes,
Yeah, because Disney bought ABC.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a wild experience that it's so like, whoa, I can't believe I'm here right now.
Isn't it? I felt magical back then, but I think it's because my dad had just died in Holland, and I was grieving the loss of. I went to take care of him because he was transferred to Holland to The Hague, and we were from El Paso, Texas. He was a roofer, and then he got swindled for his life savings out of his partner.
Oh no!
My mother tried prayer for the first time in her life. She'd never, and suddenly he gets a call from his childhood friend in Shanghai. He was born in Russia, raised in Shanghai as a white Russian.
Oh man!
And
was your dad a CIA operative?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He played violin his whole life. He was a violinist in the Shanghai Philharmonic.
And this violin like turned into a gun. He was assassinated. He assassinated the.
He gets a call from his best friend he grew up with in Shanghai named Misha Kluge. He's a multimillionaire now. In New York City, he goes, Grisha, it's Misha. What are you doing in El Paso, Texas? Why don't you come to New York and work for me in my shipping company? And then we moved when I'm 11 from El Paso to Scarsdale, New York. And we were the only people who had an old, creepy Munsters house. And we were renting and we didn't have money. Scarsdale is the wealthiest community in the whole world. You know, it's like Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
And we were surviving, but I always felt less than, you know, and I had one best friend in high school, Monroe, who played. They named the character Monroe on our show after my best friend in high school.
No way.
Really?
He was a gay guy.
So cool.
We were in the theater department. We were in every play together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
That's
one
so
friend
cool.
in high school. So, well, I was shy. I mean, later I found out I had other friends, but
yeah, but it's always good to have one friend.
One good friend.
One good friend. Then you got the like, I look at friends like a circle, you know. Like Greg's on like level 3 right now.
You stole my joke, dude. I was just like, I have one really, really close. Yeah. I haven't talked to him in 4 years. But.
He's making his way more towards the core.
He's your best friend. Yeah.
No, we're great
How
friends.
did you guys meet?
Steam room. And,
yeah.
And towels.
Yep. We were butt naked. No, we through the whole recovery thing.
Mark that one right there.
And comedy, actually.
We're
I guess
forgetting to
comedy first. I forgot to do this.
That's all right.
Working.
We'll go through it.
No, we met through comedy and then through sobriety. Yeah.
Through
Yeah, and that's
sobriety,
the coolest place to meet. I have so many perennial friends forever and ever.
Well, you know what?
30.
Oh,
30
that's awesome.
years recovery.
Congratulations.
September 11th.
That's wild.
All my friends are basically recovery now. You know why? Because it's like we're all like-minded. We're all trying to do better. We're all trying to be good human beings. And other people do it in regular life too. But it's, you know, just my whole life is kind of surrounded around recovery. And,
the only medication I'm on now is self-pity.
Oh yeah, I got.
Oh, that's a good medication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And caffeine and resentment. But
I'm on chocolate and ice. Not
chocolate.
ice cream. I'm off ice cream. But.
You're off ice cream? I just started ice cream.
You're back on ice cream?
I'm back on ice cream.
I'm on chocolate pies.
Chocolate pies?
Yeah.
Ooh, I need to ask.
The
frozen one.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
I buy the little mini ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the minis. Yeah.
I never knew anyone who bought those.
Yeah, I buy them.
Those are
That's
good.
a GodShot.
I don't even let them thaw out either.
No way.
No way. It says like
thaw?
let rest
No.
for 30 minutes. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat it frozen, dude.
Yeah,
It's
how
so-
disciplined are you going to be like, I'm going to have a pie in 30 minutes and like put it out and
Oh,
like
bro!
defrost
When
it?
it comes
No
to
way.
food, bro, when it comes to food, I am not that disciplined. I will. Here's what I'll do: if I go to the drive-through and I'll get like some fries, if they're too hot, I'll hold the fries out the window and let them cool down, and then bring them back when they're cool.
Or dip them in your milkshake.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do too. Yeah.
During COVID, I fell in love with sriracha sauce to the point.
Oh,
of,
that's good.
Sriracha
On chicken.
is
I like it
good.
on chicken.
I
you
like
can't
it
get
in
anywhere.
rice.
It's like gold, you know.
Yeah.
It's very
I
good.
They
had
went
to
out of
hunt it
business,
down.
I think.
Larry, my boyfriend keeps sending me pictures of different sriracha sauce from all over the different markets, and they're always wrong. That's not the one.
I know.
I
There's all these off-brand sriraachas, man.
I bought
Instead of
one
a rooster, it's like a chicken
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, that's not
Yeah.
I
not
bought
a
one and
sriracha.
threw it in the garbage. It was so bad.
What?
Yeah, because I thought it was the regular one, and
Oh,
I
you
put it
got-
on it,
yeah.
and I ate it, and I'm
Wow.
like, this is not.
Disgusting.
You could have given
No.
it to one of the people down in the tents.
I know.
That's-
What is it? We're not allowed to say homeless anymore. What is it? Unhoused.
Unhoused,
Tent people.
10 people.
No?
which is very sweet of us to.
Yeah,
I mean, I
we're-
actually donate toiletries to the.
That's nice.
I go to Trader Joe's and I
Okay.
get the peppermint spray. I get the shampoo. I work for a company called a charity called Bags and Grace,
Uh-huh.
and we deliver to the homeless.
Oh, that's
That's
very
amazing.
cool.
God, the most amazing.
I've done that a few times, right?
Yeah.
You know what I did? I had a big, like, Vaughn's had a sale on ham, and I bought a giant ham, bro.
Wow.
And I was like, there's
No.
no way I can eat all this ham. So I cut it up and I started making sandwiches with the ham.
Yeah.
And then I go down and I didn't have enough bread. You know, my ham to bread ratio wasn't that great. So one of the sandwiches was like huge, you know, and that was kind of like the Powerball sandwich. Like someone's going to get this and they're going to have a good day, you know?
You should have cut it into little squares and with toothpicks and given them. No, toothpick could be a weapon.
Yeah, just going around Venice Boulevard with one of those trays. Like, here you hors d'oeuvres, sir. Yes.
Hey guys, I'm Cecily, the producer of Good Things Are Happening. We got a sponsor. It's Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN or virtual private network, a tool that hides your online activities from third parties snooping around and collecting data, like the sneaky bastards that they are. When I travel, I set my location to home so that I can log in securely and work on behalf of my clients. I'm also learning Italian, and when I want to really get immersed, I can watch the news in Italian by setting my location to Rome or Milan. Protect your online privacy. Become invisible online with Surfshark VPN. And with our link, you save 83%. On the Surfshark One VPN Plus, you also get 3 months extra. That's $2.69 a month. Get Surfshark. Click the link in the description or on our website, goodthingspod.com, and surf safely with Surfshark.
I saw a story how Danny Trejo is one of my favorite public speakers.
Yeah, I
He
love him.
was,
Oh my God, I love him.
He would get a ton of socks, and he would go down and
Yeah.
pass out socks to the homeless, just to put his trunk full of
That's
socks.
great.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, socks are good.
Yeah.
So I saw I was getting a pizza, and there was a homeless guy, and obviously he was alcoholic or whatever because he had stuff in his hair and stuff, but he had no shoes and no socks, and his clothes were all thing, and he got the money to get a pizza, but I was like, you can't live without shoes and socks.
No, I never
And
thought
so
of it
I was
that
in there,
way.
and I live right across the street, and I asked him, I said, what size shoe are you? And he's like 9 or something. And I had some shoes that were too big that someone gave me.
Mhm.
So I went, I got him shoes, I got him a coat,
Oh,
and I
God, love you.
had a brand new pack of socks, and I went and gave him the socks.
I love you, Greg.
That's cool.
That's so sweet.
That-
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? Because as a comic, you're on the road a lot. You stay at a bunch of hotels. I'll
Yeah.
take all this stuff from the hotels.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, why not?
And then I'll
They need shampoo and
I'll,
stuff.
I'll give them out, you know.
Mylar
nice.
blankets and some sort of deodorizing sprays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that really good witch hazel rose spray for women
Mm.
at Trader Joe's. I always get a bunch of stuff from there.
You know what?
It's like an instant shower.
Oh, I need to look into
Yeah,
this.
and the disinfecting and the towelettes and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, people need to.
People want to smell good. Yeah, just because you don't have a house doesn't mean you want to smell.
There's a guy that went viral, and I think he's like in India or whatever, and they film it where someone's, there's a guy like laying in the dirt or whatever, sleeping, and then they wake him up, and his hair's grown out and stuff, and they shave his head, and then he washes him. With soap.
I've seen that.
He washes him, and then he has clothes.
Yeah.
Gives him glasses.
Yeah.
One guy, they got him a hotel room.
Yeah, I saw
and it
one.
turns out he's an albino, not really Indian.
I saw one that gave him a happy ending.
Real nice, dude.
I don't know if it was the same website as yours, but yeah, I was like, this is nice. They're giving this guy a bath, and yeah.
I got to tell you this real quick thing I forgot to tell you right before the audition. I was in town like right after my father died, and I was there for 3 weeks. And I went on a date with an agent, and he took me to this little restaurant in Beverly Hills called La Scala Boutique. And I walk in at the front booth. There's Natalie Wood, Robert Wagner, Fred Astaire, and Aaron Spelling sitting having dinner together.
Jeez.
And I'm so starstruck.
Yeah.
I was in every play in high school. I wanted, I just escaped to theater my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm shaking. And my date introduces me to them.
Wow.
And they're very kind and sweet. And we sat across this other booth. And after dinner, at the end of dinner, Natalie Wood goes like this to me. She summons me to their table. And I'm like,
oh man.
And I walked over and she goes, are you new in town? Mr. Spelling would like to meet you.
Whoa.
He had just been doing Charlie's Angels it was a big hit on the air.
Yeah.
And Love Boat was just, I think, the second year or something.
I love that.
This is like 79. Yeah. So and so he says, I want you to come in and meet Kathy Henderson tomorrow, our casting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in and I got my first Love Boat where I had to wear a bikini and play shuffleboard.
Wow.
And I had too much rouge and I looked right into the camera and the director goes, hey, bimbo. Hey, darling.
Yeah.
I think he said bimbo is all I heard. We don't look in the camera when we're doing our lines. I'm like, hi. And it was Artie Johnson, and then Audrey Meadows was in that episode. And she ended up playing my grandmother later on Too Close for Comfort.
Who was Julie was the director, right?
Julie, yeah. She was there.
Julie
Lauren
was the director.
Tweez.
And then Isaac was the...
That was
it Isaac? What was his real name? No, Isaac was the bartender.
Hayes?
The black bartender.
No. Isaac.
Oh, he's one of my good friends.
Yeah. The black bartender that made the drink.
Fred Grandy played Gopher.
Okay.
Ted Lange is Isaac, the bartender. I did 6 Love Boats.
Yes.
6 Love Boats.
Yeah.
I ended up doing 6 Love Boats, 2 hotels, Night Rider, Fantasy Island, A-Team.
Night Rider.
Night Rider.
Fantasy Island.
I did Fantasy Island.
What about with what's
the
it?
blend?
The blend.
Yeah, you did all those amazing shows.
I did all those shows.
That is crazy.
And 2 Hour Dukes of Hazzard. I'm always driving a race car or a Ferrari.
Whoa.
And in Hunter, the stunt lady, my stunt woman had to drive a red Ferrari, zooming around the curves, and then they want to show me getting out of the Ferrari, and she crashed the door.
No.
So they had me jump out like Starsky and Hutch. I had to jump over the door.
Wow,
just put your legs over the door. And I'm like, I can't do that. And I did it.
You were like a huge star from Too Close for Comfort. You were like a super
sex symbol.
You had your pictures on people's walls growing up and stuff like that. Was it?
No, it's horrible. It's not fun to have posters made of your body.
Because it's like I always like when thought like, oh, if I was a big star and everybody loves me and all that stuff. But I know it. It's probably, what was it like?
It was scary because I wasn't allowed to eat. I remember I walked in from the set one day at lunchtime with a burrito, a taco, and a bag of M&Ms. Mm-hmm. And Arnie Sultan, our producer, goes, what are you doing? You're a sex symbol. You can't eat starch. In those days, it's carbs today.
Oh my God.
Wait, let me just clear my throat.
I would have been so pissed. That's crazy.
I dropped everything, shaking, went to my dressing room, and I was taking water pills, which help you lose, like horses take in races. Wow. And I kept running to the bathroom, and they go, she must be doing cocaine in there. And I didn't do cocaine yet. I hadn't tried that yet.
Yeah.
But I started drinking. My drinking career started from the insecurity of having to be skinny, and they wanted you to be thin and voluptuous, and I was always in posters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ABC Network put out posters of me in a sequined bathing suit. I have them. I should have brought some pictures.
On the opposite end, I've had friends I've been like, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight. You know, like, well, you don't want to do that. You know,
you're not going to be funny anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I walk in with a smoothie. They're like, whoa, you can't have that. Get this man some nachos.
Oh my God,
we got to play. You're a character, man.
That's right. And actually, a lot of my female comedy partner years ago, she did Leno. And they said, you're too pretty to be a comedian. Women aren't supposed to be pretty if they're funny. Back in those days.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Now all the good looking ones are Matt Rife, right?
Yeah.
He's not a woman.
The female comedians, right?
Back like, in the 90s or 80s.
What there's
you weren't allowed to be pretty.
Now we have Whitney Cummings.
Well, they're gorgeous. They're all gorgeous
beautiful.
now. They're all gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Tons of beautiful comedians.
When I turned 35,
there's a few ugly ones too.
Name them off. List the names.
Nobody's ugly. Everyone is
Everyone's
uniquely
beautiful.
Yeah, everybody's beautiful.
When I turned 35, I went into a casting director's office, Ruben Cannon, and he goes, "You look pretty good for an old lady." I was 35.
Oh my God!
And we're not allowed to age. If you're a sex symbol, you're not allowed to age. If you're a character actor like Meryl Streep, you can play. A Polish Holocaust survivor. And so it's still kind of like that in a weird way. I feel sorry for young women.
Well, I feel like it's a lot different though now. Like you probably saw some wild stuff.
Well, the first movie, I did a movie in the Greek Isles. I got that movie right after I got the series. And then there was an actor strike and they said, you have 9 weeks off to go do what you want to do.
Nice.
And the movie was in Greece and it was James Earl Jones, Jose Ferrer, Lila Kedrova. She won an Oscar for Zorba the Greek. Wow. Jose Ferrer, Cyrano de Bergerac. Wow. And James Earl Jones had just come off The Great White Hope off Broadway, a Tony Award,
He's amazing.
And Martin Kove, who's now Cobra Kai in that. And then the girl from American, oh my God. What's the John Belushi movie?
American.
She was the one who had did the topless scene up in the window. Oh my gosh, it's the funniest
Animal
movie.
House?
Animal House.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of American Graffiti.
You could have been in Animal House, dude.
Oh, I could have totally been.
You right?
Let's not talk about John Belushi.
I know.
I had a thing happen. I was really close to getting that Belushi part in the SNL movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went another direction.
Oh my God, who'd they go?
You were down to like
you would be perfect.
Who'd they go with? Some guy. No, I can't resent this guy. He did a great job.
Tell me, how old are you?
37.
Oh, you're both babies. You're like 40, maybe 39.
Yeah, 39.
38.
No. I'm 54.
You're not either.
Yeah.
Oh my 65. God.
I'm 65.
You could both be my sons, though.
Yeah, Greg could. How close are you to getting that free drink at McDonald's, buddy?
I'm close, dude. I'm almost what is it? The ARP. I'm starting to get all the AARP stuff in the mail.
Oh, you already got the AA?
Dude, I think I'm close to qualifying for the senior discount at Denny's, dude.
Oh, we'll start hanging out more. I'll be your caretaker.
Oh my God. Well, let me just finish this really horror story. It's a horror story.
So we're at the Greek Isles.
So I'm in Greece
Jones.
in a place called Monemvasia with only goats and sheep and nuns and a Byzantine monastery. And there's a Soviet hydrofoil takes you there. And we're all stranded on this island for 9 weeks. And we had a yacht in the harbor and a salty sea dog captain from Malta. And he a couple of pirates.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, we're staying in a castle. It was really cool. And then the first day on the set, they want me to dive into the Aegean Sea. And I swim out a mile almost. And the director, I can't hear him yelling, cut. And I didn't know there was an underwater scuba diver. And I'm exercising on the beach in a bikini or in a tank top. And he says, just take your top off we won't get you from the front, just from behind. And I had no union on the set to protect me. It was a union job, but my first movie ever. And I had no manager, agent, or union to protect me. And I went, I don't really want to do nudity. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I have this series that's going to be coming. It's like the All America Sweetheart, right?
Yeah.
And I had to outfox them. So the wardrobe lady and I couldn't speak the same language, only Greek. And she was behind a big rock with towels. So with lots of hand gesturing, I said, know this.
Yeah.
And she goes, first she tried bandages and all sorts of, gauze. And that fell off in the water.
Okay.
And then she thought zinc oxide, this white grease paint, which is waterproof.
Okay.
She squirted it all over my boobs And
wow, now it becomes even hotter. The director's like, yeah.
She's all painted up.
Yeah.
I dive into the ocean and I swim, and you can see the underwater guy, and they can't use any of the topless stuff.
No.
And that night, they gave us rum on the beach and to warm us up. And that night, I went to the director's cave or the DP's cave. They all lived in caves. It was really weird.
Cave? Wow. What?
Caves, and they kept the equipment in. We called them caves. I don't know. We all lived in this really ancient castle.
Okay.
And I went and I stole the can of film, the whole film, and I stuck it into my room. I was scared there was nudity from the bandage scene.
Oh wow!
And then I was dating the guy on the set that was the art director. Was Aurelio Crugnola. He was the head of.
Sounds handsome.
He was a real Italian.
He does sound handsome,
right?
Yeah.
Say that name again.
Aurelio Crugnola.
Oh, so handsome. He's like 6'3", chiseled chest.
He won
no
an
body
Oscar.
hair, like hair.
Yeah.
Structured face.
Not at all.
Oh, you pictured no hair? I pictured chest hair.
Oh, you got a little
chest hair.
He was
chest hair,
really tiny and short. He was not tall.
Really?
No, not beefcake at all. But he was so artistic and poetic and loving, and he had long gray hair.
Oh,
but he was a really
he just killed Greg's boner.
But he took care. He said he would like cook for us at night. But he won an Oscar for The Black Stallion with Francis Ford Coppola for art direction.
I love
later.
The Black Stallion.
So this movie had a lot of cool people in it, but the movie itself was this ridiculous horror film about a mythological creature that eats you alive.
That sounds awesome.
So
You'd be good at that part.
That's right
dude.
up my alley, bro.
Yeah. You would be a good mythological creature that eats people.
Oh yeah, I always said that if I had hooves like from down this, if I had a horse's bottom, I could have made it so much further in this business. You know, like a minotaur. You don't see a lot of minotaurs in casting.
You
so,
could be
yeah.
a great
the idea
minotaur.
of
Oh,
a
I'd be an
minotaur.
awesome minotaur, man.
Yeah.
I'd be one of those
love
minotaurs with
minotaurs.
the flutes, dude.
Oh, you would, Pan.
Yeah,
You'd be crazy.
saying something silly. Yeah, she stole the topless film.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so funny, dude.
But wait, real quick. There was another. So on the set, they call lunch at midnight. You know, like lunch. That's when, because our hours were so weird.
Yeah.
And we were all on a boat together, and this one crew, 25 people on a small boat with 4 actors. We're all in bikinis all the time. And they call lunch, and the one of the Mexican sound crew was Mexican sound crew, Greek film crew, American actors, and British producers. No one could speak the same language. It was
Oh
like-
wow!
But he lost all his teeth, his false teeth, and he had to eat moussaka the rest of the summer, like with a straw. Because he had. Anyway, he got seasick. He got seasick.
Oh no!
It's horrible. I shouldn't say this. It's a horrible story. But anyway, the part where you're drowning, my body had to be in pieces. So they had to have an arm and a leg floating away. And the director goes, "Keep your eyes open while the salt water comes in and out, and the sun's in my eyes. And don't move. You're dead." And I'm like,
Oh my god! How do you do that?
you can't. I did it. I mean, it's in the movie. You can see it.
Yeah, I'm blind now. But
I'm blind now.
anything for the art. Yeah.
Now they got like CGI and they can
They can do all that.
They
wouldn't
stuff,
even need you. Yeah, they would have superimposed breast. They're like, yeah, we don't. Yeah, don't worry.
You know
we'll,
what?
We'll get it in post.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God, they probably do that.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, it's in like a lot of female people. They have body doubles that do the nude
Female
scenes or
people.
whatever.
I like the way you said that.
Or female
Female people.
Yeah, you know, female humans.
female objects
Yeah.
of my desire.
Greg hasn't had a female object in a bit, so it's all very weird for him to talk about.
Female people. I love it.
I have a
They're
female
called
person.
Female women actresses or actors, I guess. Whatever. I don't know.
Wow,
They have
you're
like body doubles. and
you're a
stuff.
bigot.
I am a bigot.
No,
Oh my
man.
God, that's funny.
That's so
Well,
funny.
Whoa!
Who's that?
Who's that? That's our Good Things Are Happening pod
Producer Cecily Korst. Oh my God, what are you doing here?
Wow, that's an awesome shirt. Where'd you get that? It says Good Things Are Happening. That's the name of our podcast.
Got it from the website.
What?
Yeah.
There's merch on our website?
Everybody has merch, dude. We can't get away with not having merch.
There's a way that people can support the Good Things Are Happening podcast by buying merch? That's crazy.
What?
It's cool merch, too.
Good merch.
It's good merch. Check it out. Good Things Are Happening pod.com. Is that the website?
That is good thing.
Oh, yes.
Right. Oh,
I did.
love when you do that.
Yeah, check it out, guys. We got a bunch of things on there. We got shirts, hoodies. Do we have socks?
We don't have
We
socks.
should get socks.
We should get
Socks are coming.
Socks are coming.
But yeah, if you want to support the podcast, go to goodthingsareHappeningPod.com. Check out the merch section. We got a ton of things on there. And have fun. Spread the word. Spread the podcast.
Good things are happening.
Good things are happening.
Good things are happening.
That's really cool. You've had so much just all the things that you named off that you were in. It's incredible. So you met the Knight Rider car?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
David Hasselhoff
that's
and I had a really fun time.
Okay, cool.
At Magic Mountain. Like we did a lot of crazy things together, but yeah, I got to talk to the Knight Rider car.
Which car was cooler, the Knight Rider car or the Dukes of Hazzard car?
The Knight Rider car. But Duke's was fun because I got a pet monkey. I had a bodyguard who was Stephanie Kramer from Hunter.
Okay.
You should have her on the
I
show.
worked with Hunter one time.
You did?
I did this pilot with that dude.
Fred Dry, he's 6'7".
Yeah, he used to play for the Rams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude. Because I didn't know, it was like one of my first things I got out here. They're like, you know what that is? That's Hunter, man. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm 17. I don't know.
He is so. We had a lovemaking scene, and I had to stand on they gave me a box, like a big
Yeah, he's
3
a tall
foot tall
dude.
apple crate, and then they put a body stocking on. You have to look like you're naked and you're making out, and it's. And then I had to dive into the Malibu lake, and they said, "Do you need a stunt person for this?" And I went, "No, I'll do it myself," like an idiot.
Oh wow!
And then they just forgot to put the ladder down on the boat, so oh my God, they're on an island. They're on another island over here, shooting me from a distance, and I'm trying to get. I dive into the water and I swim back to get on the boat, and we're gonna start making out again. And I can't get up, and all you see is my ass trying to pull myself like a big, just forever trying to get up, and that's close up. So like, why did I use a stunt person? It would have been.
I love it. Reminds me, I was doing a show with. I was hosting a show with Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
And yeah, he's so funny. He's so great. And so he performs, and then he comes off. I go back up to introduce the next comedian, and then when I'm introducing the next comedian, he forgot his phone on the stool, and he comes down in the crowd at the Hollywood Improv, and he's like, "I left my phone. And I'm like, so I grab his phone, and I go, and the stage is a little elevated, and I go to hand it to him, and I hand it to him, and then I pull it away, and he goes. And then I go like this, and then I try to hand it to him, and he goes, and I pull away again, and then he goes like this.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
He just started doing that. The whole crowd went bananas. I gave him his phone.
Do you know how much I love him?
funny.
My son forced me to sit down and watch every episode of Community, binge watch one
Yeah,
Christmas,
he was great
and it's
in
like
that.
He's so
I'm
funny.
Senor Chang. That was Community, not Arrested Development, right?
Community.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
he's so fucking. He's
Yeah, no, you can say whatever.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say.
Speaking of making bad decisions, tell us about your sobriety and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
If you want to talk about it.
Yes.
Well, you're,
Okay.
I've been
30 years
speaking.
sober.
I just turned 30.
Wow.
September 11th, 1994, and I've been doing 50. I've done 50 speakings.
Wow.
Speaking since March. It's like, I had a dark night of the soul recently because I'm writing this book and I couldn't get through the really difficult chapters, and I'm like procrastinating.
Yeah.
And I was going, what am I doing? Why can't I? And I surrendered and I just said, show me what I'm supposed to be doing. And the phone rang immediately, and a woman said, can you speak tomorrow for live in front of 200 women? And
So great.
it's like, oh, I forgot. We're supposed to be sharing and helping others.
Yeah.
You
That's
forget that
great.
every now and then.
Yeah.
That's so great that we have to keep remembering that. And I said it before on this podcast. It's like if I'm sitting around by myself at my home thinking, why am I not getting this? Why isn't this happening for me? Why is this?
Yeah.
And look at they're doing so good. And why me and me?
Yeah, no.
I get depressed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I shut the shades. It's all dark. I light candles, and I think about myself the whole time, and I get miserable.
If you have one of my favorite things is all my suffering is a result of thinking about myself too much. I think that great philosopher Richard Gere said that.
Richard Gere, yes, yes.
Or Matthew McConaughey.
He was like Socrates, right? Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Isn't he in that? Isn't
Did
he
you
in
say
that?
Socrates?
Socrates.
Who the hell is
Socrates.
You mean Socrates?
So
Wait a minute. I thought you meant sauerkraut.
Hang on, we got it.
Sauerkrauties.
So crowdies. Yeah, so crowdies.
Socrates.
The great philosopher.
Oh my God.
Philosopher.
I got to put the hat on for the bad
Bill and
lighting.
Ted's Excellent Adventure, they called him Socrates. Socrates.
But you guys, like, I
okay.
found everything
good.
when I got sober because I remember I had a brand new baby, and that whole adventure was strange to begin with. But, oh my God, it was like the night before. I was a single mom with a brand new baby, and I was up all night drinking straight Stoli to come down off cocaine. And the guy that I thought was going to rescue me from single motherhood, a guy that I'd known forever, I thought, well, we're going to get married. We're gonna end up together.
Yeah.
He comes over to tell me he fell in love with someone in Banff, a woman I thought where Moose live, Banff.
Ugh.
Damn.
And I was shocked because I thought he was my last, even though he looked like my grandmother, he looked like Joe Pesci as my grandmother.
Oh,
Oh wow.
He was like the one I thought would be the one. And I cried all night and I kept drinking and the baby was crying in the next room and I forgot my mom's coming over, Mommy Dearest, to introduce me to the baby, to introduce her favorite cousin to the baby. So I remember the doorbell was ringing at the bottom of the steep staircase in my townhouse, right behind 6th Avenue in Beverly Hills. And this is after, years of doing guest starring roles and then traveling the world to Monte Carlo and doing all these crazy celebrity drunken things, really drunk adventures. And then I pick up the baby and I weed my way to the top of the staircase and I went into a complete blackout.
Wow.
Oh man.
And this starts to make me cry every time because I share that story every year on my birthday. And I don't know to this day how I got down the stairs, but all I know is when the door opened, the sunlight struck some primordial nerve and my mother was screaming. She grabbed the baby and I had like black mascara dripping down my face, like a Tennessee Williams. I was like Blanche Dubois in Streetcar Named Desire in my nightgown at noon,
Yeah.
And this wonderful cousin is just terrified looking at me like, you're insane. And I was like the baby when I'm probably holding him upside down, my precious son. And I went to bed and I slept it off and she and my sister came over and they helped clean and cook and everything. And then I thought, well, I'm fine now. I'll be okay. I kept sneaking liquor, I didn't drink during the pregnancy, but when the baby was born, I couldn't get enough liquor.
Yeah.
And I really believe alcoholism and addiction is more trauma-based than genetic. That's what I feel, because I had God bless my mother, I love her. I buried her 2 years ago. We had a complete forgiveness, but she was incredibly abusive. And she was bipolar and borderline. So that's a mental health issue, which I'd love to talk to you about sometime.
Yeah.
But a week after I thought I was going to be okay, my sister invited me to dinner and I walked down the block to her place. I opened the door and there's my baby brother, Paul, my sister, a doctor from Brotman Hospital, my mother and my stepfather, and my best friend, Steve. And and I knew what this was, an intervention. I didn't really know anything about AA yet.
Yeah.
And I went, me? He's the one with the problem. My brother, he's a pothead. And they go, but you're the one with the baby. And we're going to take that baby away from you if you don't get help. So the next day I go to Brotman Hospital wearing a short, dark wig and red lipstick. I thought I was too famous to be sober, to get sober. I thought it was like, meanwhile, nobody remembered anything about our show at that point. It was 94. I was in all these shows. I wasn't conscious of what was going on. And the doctor goes, Lydia, everyone who's creative in this town is either sober or dead.
Yeah.
If they have the problem.
Yeah.
And he said, but we have to put you in a 28-day program and you can't see your baby. And I went, no, thanks. And I went home that night and I went home that weekend and it was Labor Day weekend and I drove around drunk with the baby in my car to different Labor Day barbecues. And I would run into people's houses, put the baby carriage, the baby car seat on a picnic table in strangers' homes, run into their kitchen, search for vodka, go to their liquor cabinet and drink straight out of their bottle.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's done that.
No,
But-
I can relate to a lot of this. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, just from the other perspective, like, I was raised by a single mom who had the ism too, And I remember in these situations driving places as a kid, going to pick up going to pick up alcohol, you know?
Oh, wow.
But I remember I kind of liked it because we would go to 7-Eleven, and I remember I would always get nachos and a chocolate milk. So it was almost one of those like, yeah, mom's drinking again.
All right, let's go to the
some
store.
nachos and chocolate milk. But I think
my
you're right
God.
about I don't know if it's genetic or not, but I do know trauma is a big thing, and like people who have trauma growing up, a lot of times they pass it down, you know, especially if they don't get that fixed.
But a lot of
themselves
abuse when
right.
you're young and you try to escape, like the acting.
Yeah.
You know, I sought the adoration of strangers coming to Hollywood. Like maybe they'll love me, all these strangers, rather than I couldn't get unconditional love at home.
No, you're speaking my language right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my story there, you know? I think it's a lot of people's this whole thing, you know? You just want that attention. My dad left when I was a kid, you know? I didn't know him, and it just like, it's kind of like you're chasing the approval of others, you know? It's like, maybe this will be good enough. Maybe this will be good enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got so lucky when I first walked into town getting a series immediately, but you pay your dues on one end or the other. Because the alcoholism crept up while I'm working on Too Close for Comfort. You know, Deborah, I started doing coke and then hiding it in my cowboy boots and then running to the bathroom and then.
See, I'm like just like you. Mine crept up on me. I wasn't a drinker in high school.
Yeah, me either.
It happened in my like mid-20s, you know.
Oh,
it's
wow.
kind of just and it was when I was working, you know. So I already had like some cool things happening.
Right. That's what's weird, right?
It's like you feel like kind of pressure, and you're like, and then you cross that invisible line where it's like, I got to drink. How am I gonna do this if I can't drink? You know, how am I gonna? And then it gets to like, how am I gonna do this? And it's not even anything complicated. It's like, how am I gonna see my friend? How am I gonna go to start? How am I gonna go grocery shopping without a couple of?
Oh yeah, exactly.
I gotta talk to the cashier. You know, I can't be sober for that.
Mm-hmm.
My coke dealer actually accused. He says, I was trying to buy booze in the market one night, and he goes, "You're a fucking alcoholic." I went, "You're a coke dealer. How dare you?" It was so demoralizing to be told that from a real, dealer.
Yeah. He's like, "So you want to buy this or what?"
Right. One of my
sober you up.
One of my best friends growing up was he had a real bad drug problem.
Yeah.
Like going to prison's drug problem. And towards the end of my meth use, I went over and he would give me money periodically, and he was at this hotel. So I went over and I grabbed some money, and he opens the door and he goes like, "Dude, you got a serious problem." And I'm like, "Oh my God,
shit.
He's telling me that?" Like, oh shit. Like, that's not good.
It is
right?
weird because some people, they just don't take it to like what we do. But they
don't get the ism.
But they just like like I've seen like friends like, "Oh my God, you're an animal. You're a partier." But they just don't. I guess they just don't keep going. They stop at some
They're
point.
able to stop. They don't have the allergy.
I had a friend that was smoking crack and partying and bad alcohol. Like when he drank alcohol, he's just bad things are happening. And then he got married and had a kid and then stopped everything.
Wow.
And he smokes pot.
Yeah,
pretty religiously, but he's just a normal dude, works every day.
A normie. They're really annoying. But I married a normie. But anyway, real quick, let me just see. This is the part that was the amazing surrender part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After that Labor Day weekend, I could not get drunk. I blew up like a blowfish. I became puffy, but I couldn't get drunk. And so I don't know what happened Monday night, but Tuesday morning, September 11th, 1994, I floated or walked, I didn't drive, into an AA meeting, my first all-women's meeting in Beverly Hills at the Good Shepherd Church. Mm. I must have looked it up. I don't know how I got there because the internet wasn't big back then. Mm-hmm. And I walk in hat and sunglasses, and I hear this woman at the podium say, "If you wandered into this room and you don't know you're an alcoholic, let's put it this way. Virgins don't take pregnancy tests." And the room roared with laughter. They were laughing, and the smell of cinnamon pastries and coffee brewing and shiny, happy women. Yeah. They weren't hobos like I thought. I didn't know. And I sat down, and they said, "Are there any alcoholics present?" And my hand shot up without my permission. It was like, and a river of tears rolled off me. And that was my first surrender. And from that moment on, I really have to define what this surrender means. Because I've never had a drink since that day. I had an uncanny GodShot that day with a woman who came home with me. But it felt like I'm on a magic carpet ride ever since that day. Life has a lot of bumps. Yeah. All my money was stolen by a con artist. I got it all back through prayer alone. Wow. But I married a crazy, I had a crazy life. But Most of the crazy things happen in sobriety. But it's been this adventure of fun.
Yeah.
Like every day is a surprising, wonderful day. If you turn it on the right way.
Yeah, the challenge, like for now, you know, for me, and I know probably you guys, I don't have a problem with alcohol or drugs anymore.
Right, me either, at all.
That problem's removed.
Right.
I'm very far away from a drink or a drug. Now, it could come back if I stop going to meetings or I stop praying and meditating and stop helping people. That the alcohol and drugs can be a problem again. But for me, it's like, how do I live? Like I was talking at the beginning of the podcast, you know, it's like all the outside things seem to be going well. Everybody's looking, but I could be miserable. And, you know, and I'm not suicidal, but I would get to a point where I'm like, this is hell. Like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
I hate this earth.
I know,
I hate
honey.
this planet. And I'm like, I don't even want to be here anymore. But, you know, I'm not suicidal. And I know the one thing I've always been able to maintain is that I know it's temporary. And what I've been given in life now is the tools to get out of that deep, dark thing. And it's prayer, meditation, and helping people in the service work.
Yes. But there's something that happened. I have to tell you, there's another little missing ingredient, which I swear to you, this is really weird. Without doing any of that work. Yeah. I think I was one of those people that had the catastrophic spiritual awakening. That moment, I went from complete radioactive drop dead drunk to one, surrender, which is step one, admitting. I'd always been wearing a mask for years going, nobody can know this horrible thing I'm doing. And the secret, horrible alcohol is so evil. I don't want anyone to know. I could never not look good. I could never, ever take off that mask and admit it. And when I admitted it, I swear to you, magic happened. Okay, if you can get to the mechanism of surrender without working too hard at it, and you know this, it happened for you too. But that day, a woman took me home. She says, let's go home and talk. And no one knew the secret I had. I hated my mother for giving away my Barbies. I had like one of the original bubble cut redheaded Barbie, Ken and Midge.
Yeah,
the Midge
that happened to Dustin too.
Freckles.
Yeah. Well, no, I did. Pokemon cards. I had Pokemon cards.
Oh my God, I have my son's Pokemon cards.
Really? Did you take? My mom said they were pocket demons, and I threw them away. Now they're worth hundreds of thousands, but
oh my God,
because these demonized little pocket.
Oh my God, I
cards.
love you for saying this because Jack goes, "Why did you save all those cards?" I went, "They're worth a fortune today."
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, real quick. Okay, I can't.
So
okay,
back to your,
so this Barbie thing.
I had to throw in a quick joke.
I had a Midge and a Ken, and the Ken doll had his arm removed, and he had actual crotch and fuzz for hair.
Yeah, wait, it had a dick? That's crazy.
And I had the Barbie dream house, and I stored them in the attic in our haunted Victorian, creepy old house. Whatever you do, never give these away, Mom. Of course, the minute I come home from the first semester of college, they're gone. She gave away everything I ever loved. My favorite thing. I made all my own clothes. And I couldn't get over the resentment for 20 years. This went on and on and on. This resentment. We had a fight about it that week. About Barbie musical on Broadway was coming out. So no one knew this. It felt very petty. But the woman takes me home. She's the wife of some famous actor. And she goes, Lydia, I want to just talk to you about this program. She says, you're going to overcome every resentment you ever had in this program. For example, I overcame a lifelong resentment against my mother for giving away my Barbies.
Oh, wow.
And the hair on my neck stood up. And I went, am I on a hidden camera show? What? Did this happen to you? I couldn't believe it. And I felt like my whole life had been off track and I was snapped into divine alignment at that moment.
I like that. Divine alignment.
And I swear to you, I had hundreds and hundreds of these synchronicities because I had a lobotomy that day. I decided to take out my old brain and act as I was a child and show me the way. Like, what's the next indicated step? I'm going to pretend I didn't even do anything. I just followed direction, raised my hand the first time. And I was lifted by this spiritual power. I call it God, good orderly direction, group of drunks, whatever. Good things are happening.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, you've helped so many people. Like all those things that you went through, not only did you you think about the whole just like entertainment. You made people laugh, made people cry, brought out emotion. But the real, like you saved lives.
But we all do. We all are supposed to do that for each other.
That's just something. You are an inspiration to me, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna hear this and just be like, "Wow, you're an incredible woman."
I'm not. No, it's just that I'm letting the spirit use me. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Be of use. Be of love and service. When I can remember, when I'm not an asshole. I've been an asshole at times where bitching at someone in line with 90 items, and this woman, I said, she beat me to the line. And then I looked at the back of her head and she was shaking with Parkinson's, and I poured waves of love out to this woman. And then she turned around and go, "Oh, you only have one item? Go ahead of me."
You know what?
Like clockwork.
That's the key. Just love and service. That's it, man. That's the answer. So, all right, man.
Thank you so much,
thank
Lydia.
you.
This was
Lydia.
great. This
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite podcasts ever.
Oh, you guys
It was
are really
awesome.
sweet.
And I'd love to come and hear you speak sometime whenever you're.
So would I.
Jeff,
The
thank
recovery
you.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing a New York meeting on the 23rd in the morning. But if you want to talk about money and abundance, the job is going to come. The thing that you're most meant to be doing.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is.
It's just
And I
stay
have
in
a
the
feeling.
moment.
I have
Law
a
of
feeling it
attraction.
might have been at that steam house where we met. You know.
I
think maybe. I think that
Is that a
could
date?
be-
Are you setting a date with me? You wanna
Let's
go
do
back?
it. You know, let's go.
Seriously?
We'll get part time over there.
You know,
Oh
they
my
say say money doesn't make you happy, but I'd like to see if that, I'd like to try that out and see if
Yeah,
it's
I know.
true or not. But
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Life is good.
We're doing
And,
great. Life's awesome.
So our next episode is going to be filmed from the steam room.
Yep. We'll be in there. We got some special
Can I
equipment.
join you?
Yeah, you can.
Whoa.
Absolutely. Oh,
All right.
yeah. All right. What do you think, dude?
Hey, I'm down. You know, I'm. It's a new era. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you, Greg. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dustin. I love both of you so
Yeah,
much.
you're amazing.
GodShots.
GodShots.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
All
This
right.
is fun.
This is fun.
Peace.
Synchronicity.
Later. That was awesome. I'm Dustin Ibarra.
I'm Greg Baldwin.
Find us on social media and on the web at goodthingspod.com.
You can also find us on Instagram and YouTube at Good Things Are Happening Podcast.
We're on Patreon. Sign up because we're going to have some cool stuff on there.
Like really, really, really cool stuff.
So dope we can't even talk about it. And remember, when life gets you down, good things are happening.
Good things are happening. Help somebody.